What is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Sunday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies are set to battle today at 2 o'clock Central Time. Of course, I believe 12 o'clock Los Angeles time. And this is going to be a great matchup, I feel, between two powerhouse teams in the Western Conference, and a lot of people might not look at the Lakers as a powerhouse team considering how they finished the season. But I'm here to tell you that after the trade deadline, the Lakers had one of the best defenses in the league and the second best record in the league. And of course, the Memphis Grizzlies proved throughout the year that even when injuries occurred, that they could still be very relevant and finish with the second seed, and probably could have finished the first seed depending down the stretch. But of course, we know the Memphis Grizzlies a very good stretch of time were without Ja Morant, the head of that snake of the Memphis Grizzlies. And of course, we won't even get into the reasons why he was out. It has all been noted and documented very well. That is a topic for another day because he is here. And we know on the last matchup with the Memphis Grizzlies and of course the Los Angeles Lakers, I believe the Lakers did prevail in that last game. However, you had a Ja Morant who scored a lot of points in that third quarter. And I mean, ended up the game, I think, with 38 points, but most of those came in the second half. And of course, at that time, Darvin Ham was not making the necessary adjustments. They were playing a lot of drop coverages on pick and rolls, which allowed Ja to easily finish with the floater. Now, if you look at it statistic-wise, you might say that, it's better to let Ja shoot the floater because he can finish better at the rim, where he shoots, 55 to 60% finishing right at the rim, whereas the floater is more of a 42 to 45% chance that he can make that shot. But I'd say you should mix up the coverages, do some drop coverages, do some blitzing. Also try to front him, not allow him to get the ball. Let Dennis Schroeder play on him as much as possible because to me, he's the best on-ball defenders that the Lakers has. As far as, of course, in the backcourt, I think D'Lo, we saw what he did in Minnesota, sat most of the game, was not very good during the most portion of that game. Let's hope that doesn't carry over. We know that D'Lo didn't have a whole lot of experience in the playoffs, and we saw last season that kind of play out for Minnesota. So we hope he doesn't shy away from the big moments. He has to give it to you offensively because he is probably the biggest defensive liability on the Lakers team because he has to take on the responsibility of probably guarding maybe a Desmond Bane because you don't want D'Lo on Ja. You're probably going to let that assignment go to Austin Reeves. If, of course, D'Lo and Austin Reeves are the starters, which they will be, you want to kind of mask the defensive inefficiencies of D'Lo by having him on the Desmond Bane. But Desmond Bane is somebody who can also get it cooking, and his physique in nature is much stronger. If he can kind of even get in a post position against someone like D'Angelo Russell, he will have his way with him. But that's really not the type of player that Desmond Bane is. He comes off a lot of screens and shoots a lot of threes. He can create for himself, but the main thing is let the Lakers help come and close out two defenders. We saw in the first half, the tale of two halves in the last game against Minnesota, the Lakers didn't really show any defensive tenacity in that first half, especially that of LeBron James by letting Taurean Prince run ruck shop and do what he wanted. So LeBron James is going to have to really lock in on his matchups. And I'm thinking that Jarrett Jackson Jr. will probably be assigned to someone like Vanderbilt, that the Grizzlies aren't really concerned with him getting open looks and they can send help, considering he'll be on that weak side. But that leaves Jarrett Jackson Jr. the opportunity to float around and help when people like a LeBron James try to come into the paint, because we know Xavier Tillman is no slouch on the defensive end. He's not Steven Adams, but he is very effective as far as trying to protect the rim and playing decent defense on Anthony Davis, and he can get points, and a lot of those points may come, just from putback points or second chance points, which the Lakers are actually a better second chance point and offensive rebounding team than the Grizzlies. That's probably one of their most glaring weaknesses is they don't get a lot of offensive boards, but a lot of that is due to the absence of a Steven Adams. And because of the absence of Steven Adams and, of course, Clark as well, I feel as though the Lakers will win this series in 6 games. That's just my prediction, and that doesn't mean they'll necessarily win today. This is a fill-out game. I know it's going to be a raucous Memphis crowd down on Beale Street today when wearing that Beale Street blue. One thing is the Lakers faithful had always traveled well, and in the city of Memphis, it's always been a lot of Lakers fans and a lot of Kobe Bryant fans and even some LeBron James fans. And with that said, who knows what the crowd, it may be just a few thousand Lakers fans in the building. Who knows? We shall see how that plays itself out. But at the end of the day, they're not going to, if Memphis start playing whoop that trick, I'm telling you right now, the Lakers could be in for some trouble. It's that first game. But you have to look at this. The playoff experience of LeBron James himself, he probably has more playoff games than their whole team combined. But that doesn't mean anything because it's not one-on-one. What it is 5-on-5 in between those four lines. And at the end of the day, this Memphis squad has, 2 years in a row in the playoffs as a unit together. So they've used to playing each other. You're talking about a Dillon Brooks, a Desmond Bane, a Ja Morant, Jared Jackson Jr. They have playoff experience. They took Golden State to the brinks. Ja was hurt. We know how that worked out. And, of course, minus a Steph Curry flop, that probably would have went 7 last year. And if you haven't seen that, go to my reels and check it out because I put that on there last year, and I stand by what I said. So go look at the reel, and you'll see. Ball don't lie, baby. But at the end of the day, it's going to be an important matchup. I'm assuming Dillon Brooks is going to step up and want to guard LeBron James. If you haven't seen LeBron James do the too little celebration on Dillon Brooks, go back and look at it. So LeBron James has a memory. He hasn't forgot Dillon Brooks had scored on him one day and screamed and won right over him as LeBron laid down, and LeBron didn't take too kindly to it. And, of course, hit him with the too little as he hit 3 or 4 fadeaways on him one time. And, of course, he remembers that. But Dillon Brooks, if he can remain disciplined as a defender, I think he can do a good job on LeBron James. But, of course, he won't be able to contain him. We know LeBron James is the leader in fast break points in the NBA. So by him being the leader in fast break points, it is going to be very important for the Lakers to get out in transition, which means they need to cause turnovers. And I think that's something that they're very capable of, especially Anthony Davis, I think, is probably the premier rim protector in the NBA right now. So, Ja Morant, I say blitz him, mix up the coverage, drop back sometimes, double cover, do all you can to mix up the looks. But if he gets on a roll and just start doing like last game, please make the adjustment and do not allow him to hit 6, 7 floaters in a row, because once that shot starts falling, then he can increase that range from deep. Only person we're worried about, Kennard, I forget the other fella name, for Memphis to come off the bench, great three-point shooter as well. Of course, Bane, great three-point shooter as well. Jared Jackson Jr. does not shy away from that three-point line either. So you have Memphis, who can be deadly in all ranges. They're not the second seed for nothing, but this is another new look Lakers team, and they haven't played each other since the trade deadline. They played when they had Pat Bev and Westbrook, and the Lakers still won the season series, but no game has all three of them faced each other. Either Ja Morant was out of game, either AD was out of game, or either LeBron was out of game. So you might have had Ja against AD, Ja against LeBron, but you never had all of them against one another at any given time. So it is going to be key for them to do what they can to silence Ja Morant. If they can do that, then they can limit the threat and don't let Desmond Bane get going, because that could be crucial. But what the Lakers are going to have to do offensively, which is I'm not really worried about, is spread the ball, continue to get to the line is key. We know the Lakers lead the league as far as getting to the free throw line, being physical, getting Anthony Davis the ball, I think is going to be key. Anthony Davis right now, I'm telling you right now, in order for the Lakers to win today, needs at least 17, to me, a minimum of 17 shot attempts. You can't go out there with 8 or 9 shot attempts. LeBron James, he needs to be able to get at least 7 or 8 assists, because that means everybody else is getting involved. You got to build that confidence. D'Lo cannot go out and struggle like he did last game. He needs to get his shot going. Hope he's still not dealing with the calluses on his feet and what he's going through with his foot injury. Dennis Schroeder, I think, is going to show up. You know what he's going to be able to give you. And to me, one of the key players is going to be that of Rui Hachimura, because we know what he can do as far as being a wing defender. And I think Vanderbilt, at times, we saw him on Ja. He is a very versatile defender, too. So the Lakers, as we know, switch on everything. And as they switch and they close out, I think they're going to be just fine, as long as they bring the defensive intensity and keep the Memphis fans out of the game. You know the growl towels are going to be in full effect. They're going to be waving them growl towels, and they're going to be bumping, and you know they probably going to have money bag on the side. You probably going to see the whole squad. I mean, black youngsters, no telling who's going to be at the game. So it's going to be a ruckus crowd and a ruckus environment, but that's what LeBron James lives for. And he was quoted a long time ago saying, when I come into your building in game one, it's going to present some challenges. And after 4 days off, I think he's going to be well rested. And I think that time off bodes well for the Lakers because they're older and getting over injuries. The Grizzlies was off even longer because they had been clinched and didn't even have to deal with any play-in tournament. And with that being said, the Grizzlies may be a little rusty because you got to get back into that rhythm when you haven't played in over a week, you know. So I look for it to be a slow start offensively for both teams, but I think they'll dig in by the second or third quarter. And I probably look for, you know, the Lakers to jump out to maybe somewhat of a small lead throughout the first quarter, but the Grizzlies to probably go into halftime with a maybe 8 to 10 point lead. But I would suspect that the Lakers will make adjustments in the half, and it'll be a lot closer game. And I just think in the fourth quarter, it'll be anybody's game. But just because somebody may win game one doesn't mean they're going to win a series. It's a big fill 'em out game, and it's going to be a good series regardless. But I still have the Lakers winning today just because I think LeBron James is rested. He's on a mission. He knows how important it is to go ahead and steal one in Memphis. And if they can just steal one out of these two and get back to LA, then they will have a good shot at winning this series. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, the matchups of Dylan Brooks on LeBron James is going to be very interesting with how quickly AD can get himself going early on, especially if he's going against Tillman. I think that's an advantage that they need to take full advantage of. But of course, you know you're going to have Jerry Jackson Jr. coming over to help. The Lakers have to know when to swing the ball around, and they must hit open threes. That is going to be key for the Lakers too. They can't be broke out there. They need to at least shoot 32, 33%. And that'll be a recipe for success. But I got the Lakers winning this game by about 5 or 6 points and pulling away at the end. Put in the comments below what you think. And by the way, I hate I didn't get to do a show on yesterday. It's been so busy, as y'all all know what's going on in my personal life with my family and everything else. So, but I want you all to know I had picked the Sacramento Kings to win on yesterday. And I said until the Golden State Warriors can prove that they can go on the road and win, I just don't know if they can win a series. They are very confident, I know, but at the end of the day, Sacramento was no slouch. That was a great game on yesterday for the parts of it that I did get to see. I'm looking forward to also that Phoenix and Clippers matchup. I may do another show about that. I wanted to do a show about all my picks and go from there. Maybe I can do that tonight as we do a reaction to the Lakers and the Grizzlies game. But until then, man, peace and much love to everybody. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. And as always, this is your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.